our daily Bible reading for May 30th. Our reading today comes from the Gospel of John, chapter 15. We'll begin reading in verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does not bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch and withers, and the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my love may be in you, and that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you, that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, so that you will love one another. If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you are of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours. But all these things they will do to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have been guilty of sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. But the word that is written in their law must be fulfilled. They hated me without cause. But when the Helper comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will bear witness about me, and you also will bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. Now a few thoughts for today. We tend to think of downsizing as a relatively new phenomenon in business and industry. In reality, this process of efficiency is an ancient concept. For centuries, the farmer and vine dresser have used this very formula to become even more productive. Those who depend upon the productivity of vines and trees and even tillable land know that to spend needless resources on that which will not yield is a waste of time, energy, and money. Why spend that which is not needed to gain what can be done with less? This may seem harsh when it comes to human lives, yet the same principle is involved. It is not that God has limited resources, but there is a sense which people who know that he that graciously gives would not have those things trampled upon or treated as common. This is not the first time that the vine has been used as an analogy for God's people. Consider Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I planted you a choice vine, a completely faithful seed. How then have you turned yourself before me into the degenerate shoots of a foreign vine? Or Isaiah 5:1 and 2. Let me sing now for my beloved, a song of my beloved concerning his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hill, and he dug it all around, removed its stones, and planted it with its choicest vine, and he built a tower in the middle of it. And he hewed out a vine and a vat in it. Then he expected it to produce good grapes, but it produced only worthless ones. Some have speculated that this was an object lesson from surrounding scenes as Jesus walked about. Seeing vineyards dressed by expert vine dressers would have been a perfect backdrop for Jesus to point out that indeed all branches would come from him as the main vine. Those which did not produce fruit would be pruned back to make room for those who would indeed bear more. Look at the parable of the talents or the miners to see that those who possessed that which they refused to increase would be taken away and given to those who prove their stewardship already. Matthew 25 and Luke 19. Now, a question of the day. Are you producing fruit in God's kingdom? And a thought to meditate on this day as we close. God is an exacting master, but a fair one. He will not expect more than what we are capable of giving. Those are our thoughts for today, May 30th.